Hey, this is Coach Shay with Alpha Girl Soccer Academy, and welcome to the Alpha Girl Soccer podcast show, where we aim to inspire, empower, and positively impact female athletes. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. So over the last few weeks, I've worked with 3 different college teams and 2 different club teams. And the number one thing that they've been struggling with is how to stay unified and engaged as a team during this time where we can't be together. So I'm a huge advocate and believer of the power of team chemistry. And it's something that's really suffering right now because teams aren't able to have the same interactions or do the same activities like we used to do. We're all trying to pivot and change the way we do things. And although things may start to turn around this month, who knows? It's important to take action now instead of waiting to build team chemistry once this is all over. And this is going to be the season where you're going to be able to see the teams that really bonded together and did things, went above and beyond to improve their team chemistry and build together. And then you're going to be able to see the teams that didn't even get on a single Zoom call or they didn't do things together as a team. And it's the same thing with personal stuff. So it's going to be the time where you'll know if a player put in the work or if a player didn't put in the work. And it's going to be the same exact thing for the teams as far as their team chemistry goes. Like I said, I'm a huge believer of team chemistry. And I was lucky enough on my club teams, on my college teams, all of the teams that I played on had amazing team chemistry. And you could tell when we were playing a team, I could tell just by the way that they acted with each other on the field that they were going to lose the game. Because when a team is strong and they bond together and they fight together, there's nothing that can beat that. So I want to help you. So if you're a player or a coach listening, I want to help you and your team come up with ways to better connect and grow as a team during this season. Like I said, who knows when this is going to all end? You might be able to go back to team stuff in a week, 2 weeks, maybe not for another month or so. But I want to help you come up with something to do now. Because if you wait, if you've been waiting, you're almost too late. So a few things that you can do as a team, and I'm sure there are a lot of teams that are already doing this kind of stuff and maybe doing even cooler stuff. But a few things that I've seen that have worked really well is obviously you got to do some sort of face-to-face calls, right? So some different things that you can do on those face-to-face calls, though. One thing that obviously I'm doing is a lot of mindset confidence coaching, right? So this is a time where we have more time to work on the mental side of our game. So that's one of the things you can do. Also, the tactical side of the game. So when you're at practice, a lot of the times you're so busy just practicing that you don't really get to learn and understand the game. So taking this time as a team, maybe come up with, each week you have to watch a new game and you give a game analysis on that game. And then you all kind of talk about it, even draw it up on your Zoom screen, just work on the tactical piece of the game. Along with that is having some sort of trivia competitions as it relates to tactics or certain players or just facts surrounding the game to increase our knowledge of the game and understanding of the game. And then also, in addition to those things where we're learning and we're growing, I think it's really important for chemistry to get to know each other on a deeper level and to just have fun with each other, be vulnerable with each other and that kind of thing. So some examples with that is, and I personally haven't seen a team do this yet, but I think it would be really cool to have some sort of talent show. So each person gets a minute to be on the Zoom screen and they get to do their own talent of some sort and, just kind of get to show another side of them that maybe they don't get to show, in their practices and games. So that's one thing. I've seen another team, it's awesome, and they're doing cooking competitions. So they all have something they have to cook, and I don't know exactly how they do it, but I've seen teams do cooking competitions, which is pretty kind of similar to, the talent show type thing. And the other things I've seen is doing some kind of games like Jeopardy, or I already mentioned trivia, but making sure that you have a balance of fun stuff and stuff that's going to help you learn and grow. And back to the fun stuff is just get to know, if you're a coach, get to know your players on a deeper level. Get to know them and their likes and their dislikes and what they're going through. Maybe set up one-on-one meetings 15-minute one-on-one meetings with your players just to check in on them. And captains of a team can have a great pull and impact too. And maybe it's you have your own captains meetings without the coaches. And that way you can just talk freely. You can talk about whatever you want to talk about. You can have movie nights, you can have dinners together, you can play games, you can hash out maybe some issues that happened on the field last year that you guys can work on. So having like separate calls away from the coaches, because a lot of times when coaches are on the call, we don't necessarily want to put ourselves out there. So I think that's a really good idea for if you're listening to this and you're a captain of the team or a leader of the team, and you don't even have to be one of those things. You don't have to be a captain, but just maybe reach out to your teammates and say, hey, is this something that we could maybe do a couple times a month, is just have team group calls where we can get together and talk. And then as well as doing those kind of things off of the calls, what I've seen some cool things is listening to different podcasts. So podcasts that improve, the mental side of the game, this podcast, for example, but having podcasts where you have to listen to the podcast and then you go back on your Zoom calls, or you just kind of write a little report about what you learned, how you can use it in your play when you start playing again, and that kind of thing. And along with that same line is books. So obviously there's a lot of teams I know that are doing book clubs. There's a few teams that are using my book, She the Confident, as part of their book clubs, but there's a lot of great books out there where, maybe you read a chapter a week, you come back, you talk about the book. So this is a great opportunity for you to, as a team, improve your tactics, improve, your team chemistry as far as getting to know each other off the field and that kind of thing. So I know there's a lot of bad stuff about this, but take it and use it as an opportunity to even grow even more. Like I said at the beginning, you're going to be able to tell on the field which teams are really going to, grow and expand together. You're going to see which teams did the work during this time, and you're going to see the teams, they kind of just did their own thing, and it's going to be very, very apparent. So I would suggest, whether you're a player, parent, coach, whatever it is, start getting these things going, or add some of these in if you're already doing stuff. And if you are doing anything that's really, really cool that I didn't mention, I would love to hear it. You can send me a DM on Instagram or Twitter at Alpha Girl Soccer, or you can send me an email at shay@alphagirlsoccer.com. Let me know what you're doing, because I'm all for these awesome, cool ideas that I've been hearing so far. So yeah, let me know what you guys are doing. And if you need help, if you're a captain and you need some direction on how to kind of bring your team together, I'm always here to help. Just send me a DM and I'd love to help you out. And if you're a coach listening and you want to get She the Confident for your team to start a little book club, it's a really quick read. You could easily read it in a week, and you guys could have some great discussions along the topics of the book. Send me a message on Instagram, Twitter, or email, and I can hook you up with books for your whole team. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this episode. Hope that you got something out of it and can take it and use it with your team. And I will catch you on next week's episode.